does it take to wrestle a car to victory over the tortuous road course at Riverside? Or outrun the field at Daytona, the fastest racetrack in the world? To outlast the competition at the Sebring Grand Prix of Endurance, or challenge the 50-year history of Indianapolis. It takes total performance. Riverside, California. 60,000 enthusiastic fans line this twisting 2.7-mile road course to watch stock cars and crews from all racing circuits tackle it together. It'll be a long Sunday afternoon for all of them. 500 miles long. The first 500-mile stock car road race ever run. Parnelli Jones heads up the USAC contingent. Fireball Roberts, one of the top NASCAR drivers. And Dan Gurney, road race champion on his home ground. 11 o'clock, race time. And it's perfect racing weather in Southern California. Pontiacs, 10 Fords, 8 Chevys, 6 Mercurys, 5 Dodges, and 2 Plymouths. Each one heading into the first turn. Each one looking for an opening, pushing, jostling, hustling, trying to scramble up through the pack. They'll be at it all day, 185 times around this course, if they last. A twisting, turning road course, it winds uphill and unwinds downhill. Straightaway ends in a big sweeping curve. Early in the race, 2 men show exceptional skill and daring. Parnelli Jones, Mercury number 15, and Dan Gurney, Ford number 28, jam their way through the pack. The pace is 95 miles an hour. Too hot for some. On lap 27, Danny Weinberg loses it. Flipping and twisting, Jim Pascal, number 41 Plymouth, dives over the rail. His car is demolished. Pascal himself walks away with only a tear in his shirt. At the halfway mark, 10 cars are out of the race. For the remaining 34, work goes on frantically. There are still 250 tough, tortuous miles to go. lead changes hands. Roberts beats Gurney out of the pits. Gurney in number 28 Ford catches Roberts in number 22 Pontiac. On lap 100, Gurney charges past Roberts and goes in front for good. But there's plenty going on behind his fastback Ford. In the next 100 miles, 11 more cars drop out of the race, trying to solve the riddle of Riverside. The shadows lengthen and blacken as the race grinds on. When high-speed driving gets too dangerous, the caution flag comes out again. Just 4 laps from the end of the race. In all, 27 laps to run under the caution flag. The pace car and Dan Gurney lead the remaining 21 cars across the finish line for the checkered flag. 7 are Ford. Gurney and his fastback Ford Galaxy averaged 85 miles an hour in winning the first 500-mile stock car road race ever run. The biggest crowds ever to watch stock car races come to Daytona each year to see what Detroit's best can do when the chips are down. This speedway is the fastest, toughest proving ground in the world for automobiles. A track designed to challenge today's cars and tomorrow. Mile race isn't a test of speed alone. The winning ride depends on car control and staying power. Before the race is an hour old, the pace takes its toll. Junior Johnson in number 3 Chevrolet loses a push rod. Goldsmith in 01 Pontiac blows his engine. In the first 150 miles, the lead changes 12 times. Rutherford, a number 13 Chevrolet, spins on the backstretch. Cars pit frantically for fuel, tires, repairs. Trouble in the backstretch. How does it feel to lose it at 160 miles an hour? Like nothing in this world. Time lost or gained in the pits can mean the race. With a possible 100 miles per tank full, crews plan a total of 4 quick stops for refueling. You're in trouble if you lift the hood. The grueling afternoon wears on. The grandstands throw long shadows across the track. 02 Pontiac loses the wheel at 165 miles an hour. A.J. Foyt guides the car into the infield, out of traffic. At 350 miles, Lorenzen and Jarrett are running 1 and 2. Are drafting in positions 3 and 4. Drafting saves fuel. The second car moves in as close as possible to the car in front and is pulled along by the vacuum, bumper to bumper. The first car pulling, the second pushing. At 392 miles, the leaders make their 4th pit stop. They've been averaging only 98 miles per tank full because of the terrific speeds. They have 108 miles to go. They all pit except Tiny Lund, who keeps going. Lorenzen roars away after Tiny. Jarrett gets out of the pits in a hurry. Into the last laps. It's a battle of the Fords. 10 of the 23 cars still running are Fords, with Tiny Lund leading the Ford sweep in Ford number 21. Fords are running 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tiny Lund gets the checkered flag, and the crowd hails the man and the equipment that proved themselves in competition. It's a great day for Tiny Lund and his crew, with the glory of getting home first and the lion's share of the biggest purse ever offered in a stock car race. And for the fastback Fords, total performance pays off again. A running Le Mans start, and 65 of the finest European and American racing teams from 17 countries are off on a 12-hour day and night Grand Prix of endurance. This is Sebring, Florida, the longest road race over the longest road course on the American continent. In 12 hours, the best of these cars will cover more than 1,000 miles. Lap 1. Heading into the S's, it's number 12 Cobra leading all the classes. Prototypes, sports cars, grand touring cars. Leading all the top racing machines in the world. The Ferraris, the Jaguars, the Porsches, and the new American makes, the Stingrays and the Chaparrals. The Cobra leads them all in its first start in racing competition at Sebring. 6 Cobras are here to race. 3 of them are piloted by Dan Gurney, Phil Hill, and Glenn Fireball Roberts. Top talent behind the wheel. Total performance under the hood. End of lap 1, and Cobra leads the way. The course at Sebring, laid out over an old airfield, is long and flat. But its 5.2 miles of concrete and asphalt are fitted out with some real character builders. From 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, the top in international Grand Prix competition, brought to Sebring by invitation only, roar through the 90-degree turns and winding S-curves, a 260-degree hairpin turn, a zigzag through the Webster turn, and 3 long straightaways. The most successful will wrestle this course over 200 times. It'll take total performance to win this race. With relief, each driver goes to the stick approximately 6,000 times in a race of this duration and complexity. In cars so delicately balanced, the most minute detail can mean the difference between winning and losing, between ending the race in the pits or at the finish line. Afternoon under a broiling Florida sun wears away into dusk, making driving doubly dangerous. The dwindling light and darkening shadows play tricks on the twisting course. The relentless clock pursues the drivers as far as you can go in 12 hours. Fatigue is compounded with tension and frustration. This is strictly automobile racing for skill and sport. There's little prize money involved. But without incredible skill, there's no sport. Without total performance, there's no skill. Last grinding hours, when everything is wearing out. The still strong are pressing. The fading are trying to hold. This is the time a Grand Prix race of endurance takes on a quality all its own. Sports cars, a special breed, lighter, smaller, with lower weight to horsepower ratios, different and varying total performance characteristics. One question remains. Do they have the endurance to average better than 90 miles an hour over a big, tough road course for more than 1,000 miles? The answer, many don't. The Ford Cobra does. The final result, Ford Cobra wins first in its class. A great start for a snappy new breed of total performance Ford. "66 of the finest and fastest cars in the world are here at Indianapolis a month before the big race for practice and time trials. Only the 33 best of these will make the starting field of the 500. And to be here and run with the best is the ambition of every driver, mechanic, and car builder. Andy Granatelli has over $250,000 in his 3 Novis. These 8-cylinder, dual-ignition supercharged missiles deliver over 700 horsepower. Granatelli feels that he has the problems licked that have dogged the Novi since 1946. The most controversial entries are the Mickey Thompson rear-engine cars. With 12-inch wheels, his cars are the lowest ever to be seen at the track. Another rear-engine machine that raises many questions is the British Cooper, powered by a modified 6-cylinder Aston Martin engine. The most serious threat to the offie hold on the 500 is the Lotus Fords. Weighing in at 400 or 500 pounds less than the lightest offies, these machines are powered by a Ford Fairlane aluminum V8 engine. The engine, at 350 pounds, delivers a horsepower per pound on commercially available pump gasoline. The offies burn alcohol. With reduced tire wear, because of their lightweight and better fuel mileage on pump gasoline, the Lotus Fords may require only 1 pit stop during the race. The offies will make 2 or 3 stops. The Lotus Fords, designed to run anywhere in the world, are a direct challenge to the tradition that only cars specially designed for this track can compete here. The competition will be hard to beat. But the Lotus Fords proved in time trials that they can run with the best. This is the day of the 47th annual 500-mile race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The 500 is the largest single sports event in the world. It is 33 men racing for a purse of almost $500,000 and the greatest glory that a man and a car can achieve. The pace car pulls into the pits. Jones, a number 98 Willard Battery Special, jumps into the lead on the first turn. Jim Hurtubise, the number 56 Novi, catches him on the backstretch. Squeezes past Hurtubise to take the lead again in lap 2. It's Bobby Unser in Novi number 6. In Novi number 75 is in the pits with transmission trouble. Parnelli begins to move away from the field. McCluskey passes Hurtubise to take second. Hurtubise falls back. Marshman moves into position behind McCluskey and passes to run in second place. Uh-oh, trouble on the second turn. Bud Tinglestad hits the wall. The caution flag. Alan Cole loses it on the first turn on the yellow. Hurtubise is first of the leaders to pit. Look out in the pits. Marshman and McElreath try a little ballet coming into the pits. No damage. Parnelli Jones has built up a 24-second lead. The Lotus Fords are making their move. Lap 64, 150 miles. Parnelli gives up the lead, and he's pitting sooner than expected. His fuel was running out, and this early stop commits him to a 3-pit stop race. If the Lotus Fords can hold to their planned single stop and have the endurance to stay with the pace for 500 miles, Parnelli will have to get a full lap ahead to make up the minute that the 2 extra pit stops will cost him. At the halfway mark, Jim Clark in Lotus number 92 makes his first and only pit stop. Almost 250 miles on the same tires and the same tank of gas. He had taken over the lead when Parnelli and the other competition had made their pit stops. Clark's stop is longer than most, 33 seconds. While he's in the pits, Parnelli, who is only seconds behind, breaks all existing track records and builds a lap lead over Clark and the rest of the field. McElreath comes into the pits the hard way. The battle goes into the last laps. The extra stops have cut Parnelli's lead over Clark, but Clark can't catch him. Miles to go. Eddie Sachs slams into the wall on the third turn. White flag for Parnelli. One more lap. McCluskey spins on the very last lap. The caution flag changes to the checker for Parnelli Jones. The checkered flag for Jim Clark in second place. Parnelli, spent and smiling, exhausted and kissed. The man who did it, faster than anyone else. joining the ranks of the greats of the 500. Jim Clark in Lotus Ford number 92 also did it. He outran all but one of the competition in his first Indianapolis 500. And Dan Gurney did it too, with skill and endurance. He and Clark, in new cars, with new ideas, challenged the 50-year-old history of Indianapolis and began a new era at the 500. And it's been the same with Fords in competition all over the world. The hundreds of thousands of people here, as well as those at all other events, have witnessed an unprecedented sweep by Ford. A total winning performance the world over.